Hello everyone, welcome to this new video from moonwatch.fr. Today I will show you how I acquire little gems directly from Japan. For that I use a proxy. It's the Buyee site. In this video we will see together how the site works. What does it allow you to do? I will also give you some tips, some tricks that I use almost daily, which allow me to acquire most models. JDM, reserved for the Japanese market, but especially models that I managed to get at amazing prices. Come on, let's discover this right away. So here's what it looks like. Friends, I'm putting the link in the description. Feel free to use the link I provide, as you will get a discount coupon worth approximately 10 euros on your first purchase. So Buyee is what we call a proxy. It's simply a site that acts as a bridge between you, the buyer, and you seller sites. So there are proxies for American sites, but most are intended for Japanese sites. And the one I consider the best is Buyee. By clicking on the link I put in the description, you will access a registration page. Otherwise, you can click here on register. There, you just need to use the different options offered to create an account, and you will be able to start sniping on the site. Let's discover that right away. So I'll start right away with a tip. And the very first thing you will do when you are logged in is click here on coupons. You will already access types of discounts, vouchers if you will, that will allow you to save money. The simplest thing is not to overthink it. Just click on get display coupon and that will give you all the available coupons. Once we have our coupons, we can start searching. I invite you to do two types of searches. The first one is on the Yahoo, Japan e-auction platform. This is a platform reserved for Japanese users. Hence the interest in using a site like Buyee, which also allows you to purchase per bitten on Yahoo Auction. So to put it briefly, Yahoo Auction is somewhat like the Japanese eBay. Let's say it's used as much as eBay is used here. And as a result, there are many hidden gems. As you know, I am a big collector of MRG. There are a few missing from my collection. So I suggest we search to see if we can find any MRGs that might interest me. So we type Casio Moje into the search engine. And then I have several results that will appear. Several things need to be taken into account. First of all, the first thing to do is to sort the results according to your preferences. Here, for an MRG, I will sort from the most expensive to the least expensive, because I don't want to have the vintage MRGs that I already own. I prefer to immediately focus on high-end MRGs. Let's say, here I browse through the different listings. There are several pages, there is a pagination system, and I will try to find models that I like. So here, you see, we really have an incredible stock of watches. JDM. Of course, these are models to be found in France. When you don't see these 3 listings per year, you're happy. Here, we are really on, I think, the largest store of Asian watches. That's why Buyee is interesting. Mainly to buy Japanese watches, of course. You don't go to Buyee to buy a Yema or a Leap, even though you might find some gems. But the majority of the watches that will be interesting are the Seiko, the Citizen, the Grand Seiko, the Casio, the Corona. In short, these kind of local watches, of course. Let's continue. Here I found a model that might appeal to me, friends. So, there are 2 types of offers on Yahoo. Either you have buy it now offers, in which case you pay immediately and you're sure to get a lot. Or there is an auction system, a bit like what you can find on eBay. Here we see that we are on an auction system that currently has 52 bids and there are 22 hours left before the end of the auction. Here, it's an MRG B2000 in a very special blue carbon dial edition. At the moment I'm filming the video, the bids have gone up to 582 euros, but obviously in 22 hours the price will increase. Here you will have 2 other options. Either you place a bid traditionally by clicking on the button, place bid. There, it will ask you what the maximum amount is that you wish to put to win the lot. So there, for example, you could put 1,000 euros, or you can do a snipe it now. And there, it will be interesting, because in fact the system will automatically place a bid for you in the last 5 minutes. Well, for very mainstream models like this, let's be honest, it doesn't serve much purpose because people really watch until the last moment. On the other hand, for models that are much more exclusive, it can be interesting to put a snippet now, because it will allow you not to inflate the price right away and to get it for yourself, shipped. So it's a bit like the same principle as an eBay sniper. The second marketplace I suggest you discover is Mercari. And there, this marketplace is extremely interesting. It's simply the equivalent of Le Bon Coin, but in Japan. And there, millions of items are offered. I mainly use it for watches to find little gems in terms of horology, but you can also use it for cameras, for other types of products. For watches, it is full of little treasures, provided you take the time to look for them. Because it's really something that is very time consuming. I spend hours a day on it, between 3 and 4 hours in the evening, really trying to find my little gems. By the way, below you have an idea of my latest searches. So, Mercari, it's simple. To access it, you click on this button and you arrive at this interface. There, just like earlier, you simply need to enter what you want to search for. For example, Casio, MRG. Just like earlier, you press enter. Just like earlier, you will be able to sort. According to a number of filters, you find filters on the right to filter by price, by pricing table, etc. Personally, since these are searches I do regularly, I have saved the searches. That's why you find them here. And I sort by new arrival. This allows me to see the new items of the day. Here, I have found two little gems for you. So you'll see, these are gems that are not very expensive, and we will manage to get them for even less expensive. I'll show you right away. The first watch I found for you is a Citizen limited edition, which uses a GPS caliber, the F100, which is basically the simpler version of the F900 that I have already presented to you. Here, we are looking at a price of 346 euros. I will simulate a purchase, so you can see how to benefit from and use the coupons, which will further reduce the price of this watch. The first thing you will need to do is select what type of verification you want for the package. That is to say, when Buyee receives the package in their warehouses, you will be able to request a compliance inspection of the product. For anything below 1,000 euros, in reality, it doesn't serve much purpose. I find, so I put 0 euros. Just below, you will be able to choose those famous coupons that I had you take from the start. You see here, we are at a price of 348 euros. Here, I have a list of coupons that appears, and I will take the one that gives me the best discount. Here, I have a coupon for 4,000 yen. Hop. I choose it, and immediately I see that the price drops to 322 euros. So I saved 20 euros, obviously. Then, if I want to finalize the order, I click on PayPal, I pay, and that's it. The watch will be yours. The second example from Petit Petit that I found for you, I thought I will still look for really cheap watches. I had the choice between many things, small Casios, small Seikos, vintage, modern, and it's a watch that I'm currently looking for. It's a Citizen Oxy that I find incredible. Here, we have a watch that is worth about 30 euros. This is on the Buyee EcoDrive watch, so solar powered, water resistant, up to 200 meters with a crazy look. Here, it's a steel model. I'm not sure if this Oxy model ever existed in titanium. In any case, for 30 euros, you won't find pieces like this. In Europe, and this is a watch with an incredible presence, these are ranges that no longer exist at Citizen. I love it. It's worth about 30 euros, 37 euros for this one. And as you will see, we can also use coupons to reduce the cost by a few euros. So like earlier, I deselect the light plan and choose the coupon that interests me the most. So here I'm going from 40 euros to 36 euros. I've saved 4 euros, which is still a saving. Once you've made your first purchases, these will arrive at Buyee's premises, and you'll need to have them reshipped to your place in France or wherever you live. And obviously, to avoid paying shipping fees for each product, you'll be able to consolidate multiple items one into a single package in order to minimize e-send costs as much as possible. This will be done by clicking on package information. There, you'll be able to select the different items you want to put in the package. And Buyee will take care of putting everything into the same box that will be sent to you. As we discussed, I'll show you a consolidation I have in progress where I won 2 ProTrek. I'll show you the first one, a superb piece. A PRG 110 that is missing from my collection. This piece is very special because it has a purple display that is absolutely beautiful. It is fully functional in an almost incredible condition. I paid for it. 60 bucks, my friends. These little gems, the second watch. From this lot, it's a small ProTrek marked as junk, but I think it's just the battery that needs changing and the watch. I paid less than 5 bucks for it, so either I manage to change the battery and it works again, I buy a strap. 10, 15 bucks, and I have a great watch for less than 20 euros, or I would have lost less than 5 bucks. and then the watch goes in the trash if I can't fix it. So that you don't stay stuck at your fair, I'll also show you how to find great hidden gems for not too expensive. So we go to Mercari, as always, and type great hidden gems in the search bar. Then, in the category, we select fashion, men, and watches. Next, for the price, we set it starting from 500 euros to avoid all the junk. So, once it has processed and displayed the results, we will access them to the list that I sorted from the cheapest to the most expensive, and there we will find some hidden gems. Already the first one is a banger. I know, because I was looking at it not long ago. Actually, the diameter is a bit small. I'll show it to you. So the first one we see is priced at 500 bucks and it's magnificent. Here we have a quartz model. Of course, the dial is amazing. We're not on the original strap, but between you and me, honestly, it's not a big deal because a very nice alligator leather on this. It's an incredibly classy watch. The only problem is that here it's a 33 mini. And if we keep looking, we'll find some gems. Come on, I found two for you. First of all, it's a vintage Grand Seiko, a bit old. But the shape is interesting because I love this bezel. Here we have a diameter of 37 millimeters, so it's perfectly wearable. There are plenty of variations of this model. I took the first one, I can't lie to you. The bezel is a bit dinged. Nothing too serious, nothing too bad. Bracelet, original, of course. Plus, we have the original box as well. So we have a full set, I think. You will need to read the description carefully. You will have all the details. And you see, it's typical of the kind of product I like. In Bali, because we're talking about exclusive models that were the pride of Japan, which are mainly found in Japan. You'll never run into a guy in a Parisian restaurant with this on his wrist. There's very little chance. And here, for not even 600 euros, you can have it. The watch is not perfect, but it is still in relatively clean condition. Overall, I am sure that by continuing my research, we can find it at almost the same price in impeccable condition. And on top of that, for the 582 euros it costs, you will be able to add coupons that will bring it down to around 550. I think, so there you go, friends. I hope this video has helped you understand how Buyee works. To see its advantages, to see how to conduct searches, to see how to use coupons in order to snag incredible watches. Whether reserved for the Japanese market or not, at insanely low prices. Before wrapping up this video, friends, I would like us to talk a little about shipping. Buyee offers you several shipping options. I encourage you to use only two. Either the local transport service, which will end up at your place via Chronopost, or my favorite, which is using DHL or FedEx. And this will simply ensure that you receive the fine within 2 days after the shipping request. In addition to that, also keep in mind that you will need to pay import fees. The Japanese don't joke around with that. For an order of 1,000 euros, consider that you will have approximately 250 euros in import fees. It can be a bit less, it's rarely more. I always start with a base of 25%. That way, I'm never disappointed. Therefore, it's important to take into account this increase related to import fees. When you are selecting watches to snipe, if you find a watch that is barely 10% cheaper than in France, it's not worth it, and you might as well get it in France. Once again, Buyee is really a way to snipe JDM watches reserved for the Japanese market in particular, but also models that appeal more to Asian markets than to European markets. For example, if you are a fan of gold, if you like brands like Cartier, like Bell & Ross, those kinds of brands, on Buyee you will find your gems. So there you go, friends. Many of you were asking me where I found my JDM watches and how I managed to snipe them at the best price. Now you know I'll put the link to Buyee in the description. Don't hesitate to click on it. As usual, also remember to give a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to our little channel, and leave me a comment. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. Alright, bye family.